it going, people? It is Liam Caddison here, and we're reacting to another episode of Lucifer as we kickstart the second half of the final season. Yes, it's been a pretty good season so far. I wouldn't say this first half was on par with the first part of season 5, but it has been very interesting, especially with Rory coming into the mix. And of course, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle there, as of course she resents Lucifer for that abandonment, but is on good terms with Chloe seemingly. So yeah, and we had Lucifer basically deducing the fact that he must have somehow got murdered for him to abandon, or in this case, abandon his daughter. So yes, but yeah, it's been very interesting. I am really curious to see what is going to happen in regards to the Lucifer and Rory relationship, because I don't think it's going to be as something, because when she was first introduced, I just had that assumption that she's going to be the main antagonist for this season, seemingly. And things got, of course, a lot more awkward when the revelation came about that she was the daughter of Lucifer Morningstar. So yeah, but I don't think it's as, you know, simple as that. I think it's not as it's not the fact that she's going to be an antagonist of sorts. There's just going to be this rocky dynamic, especially with Lucifer becoming God being also a priority as well. So yeah, I think that's the way it's going to go. I can't see them having Rory do a bit of a heel turn with well, by the end of this episode, and we only have a few episodes left remaining, and I'm assuming the majority of the final episode is going to kind of resolve a lot of the characters' stories that we've gotten to know and love. But yeah, it will be very interesting. We also have some pretty interesting moments, especially with Ella seemingly being on the note. It's only hunches that she's gathered so far, but the fact that she has an inkling about Lucifer and Amenadel and all the celestial stuff, it's very satisfying, and also very gobsmacking as well, because I wouldn't have pegged Ella to have some kind of conspiracy board thinking, is Lucifer the devil? Is Amenadel an angel, etc.? So yeah, but of course that's also in relation to the whole end of days malarkey. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting into this episode. So with that said, let's get into episode number 6 of season 6. There has to be an extra 6, surely, of Lucifer. Let's go.
Thanks.
Oh, no, that's my 10 o'clock coffee. The second cup holder is broken, so I need you to hold it.
Oh! Well, that sucks. Oh, man. I mean, could you not get something portable? I don't know. Amenadel needs to... Oh.
Look at you and all your blues. Great. Oh, man. Feels good to be back in a patrol car. Come on, man. There's only 4 people in the entire world who can see me. And one of them is
I've got a question.
So can I please...
Actually, I've got a problem.
Sorry, but no.
How is Dad able to ride along if he's a ghost?
I forget that you two know each other really well because you're sisters. She's at science camp for the summer. Oh, nerd.
Wait, are we gonna write her out?
Could always count on my big sis for good porn, though. What?
What?
Only thing T hides is chocolate.
I'm always like, of course, some things never change.
There you go.
Oh, shh.
Caleb Mayfield? I said, are you Caleb Mayfield?
Oh, it's that piece of shit out of a cop.
I said, get down on the ground. Put your hands on your... Hey, you're hurting.
Oh,
Put your hands
fuck.
on. No, please, just do it this.
Just keep your head down. Keep your eyes on your job. You'll do more good in the long run if you don't blow shit up on your first damn day.
I mean, there's still sore wounds for Amenadel, especially since Caleb is still pretty fresh in terms of the whole Michael debacle.
You know, I don't know, work, family, spirituality.
Secret identities.
I am here for you, pal.
Wait, was she checking the wings? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Very good. Right, give us your best. Come on.
Oh no, she's gonna aim for the head. Okay. Not the head, but... Yeah.
No!
We got Santa Claus of Lucifer. What the heck?
Okay, so then Ella found a trail of blood leading
Closest
away
thing
from the
we'll
open
get to a
bathroom
Christmas
window
episode,
with
so.
a fingerprint in it belonging to a...
And usually, in the end, they do get it right.
I don't know though, because there are, I mean, we know, especially with the murder of George Floyd, there are
If
pieces
Rosa
of
sent
shit
you tell her to pipe down. She knows I
abuse
can't
their
hear my
power.
stories below her. You know how I know?
Come on.
The sex. This courtyard echoes like a canyon.
Oh
and
my
I certainly know
goodness.
what good love sounds like. Don't mean to
Dad,
embarrass you.
stop!
Oh, no. I was just, I just realized I'm out of pound cake, Miss Loretta.
Well, don't you worry. There's plenty. Be right back.
We love Loretta.
I just didn't follow up. Damn it, I should have. I had a
You
lot of time
expect
and help
something
think
to
about
get
things I wish
done,
I'd done
but-
differently. And fighting bullshit racists like that in the department is definitely one of them.
Okay, then I will.
Oh shit, whoa.
Be careful. There's got to be a reason Ryman is impervious to complaints.
Remember, she requires an extremely gentle touch, much like a lover. If you take care of her, she will take care of you.
Whoa! Oh my god. Rory. Oh! 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 Oh my god!
Unbelievable. Do you see her on that
He's
red light?
done!
Well, I'm sorry, but she was twice your age.
So that's where that scratch came from?
Okay, that's probably enough for today.
She has that living life thing going for her. Oh man.
One less tattletale. Like I said, I used to have a mouth on me.
Used to.
Anyway, I turned it down. Because I need to be here where I can do the most good, even if it means wearing these blues for the rest of my life.
That's
That
just
head
something
beat
else that we
down,
can
isn't
bring to
it?
the lieutenant. I mean, she's the killer.
Guess it's up to a jury, huh? The good news is, looks like the Vic clipped her before she
I
took
mean,
off, so she
are
won't get
you
far.
trying to say that
The
your
Vic?
past
There wasn't even a gun at the scene.
should be,
Anyway,
you know,
thanks again, rookie.
scorned at? Even though you're a changed
Couldn't have
person?
found it without you.
Mr. Morningstar got... We got more singing though! Oh no.
I see a love that
Oh. This is it though, like it's I feel like in her emotions it's like she's getting shoved this in her face. May, stop. Bloody hell!
Rory. What do you desire?
Oh, that packed so much punch emotionally there. Just that feeling.
I want you to leave me alone.
Rory.
He's trying, bless him.
If I see another cop pull over a person of color, I can watch. If I see something, I can say something, but carefully. To the right person.
To the right person? No.
It's just
No,
this
that can't
pressure.
be it.
It's
You're only one
Yeah.
person, Harris. You can't be everywhere.
Yeah, well, there's the battles and then there's the war, but you know, Tell us where you are.
Hiding. I'm scared. I went back to the clinic, but he must have guessed I would because he followed me when I left.
Oh, shit.
Who followed you?
The man who killed Kevin.
Yeah, he had a feeling she would survive.
You have to help me.
Fuck.
Of course, just tell us where you are.
Inglewood Cemetery.
And we're here to help you.
You can trust us.
She's no one else to turn to, and she's scared that no one's going to believe her story. This is the sad
Let's get you some help.
reality, isn't it? Wait. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay.
I sat down on the ground.
Whoa.
What
She's
in
the
the
victim. That
fuck?
man is the perpetrator.
Don't you...
What are you
I
doing?
want to strangle him! Oh my god, you racist dick!
Get away from her, you idiot.
Is he gonna risk his thing just to shut this racist dick up? Ooh,
We'll see.
what a piece of shit.
Who were supposed to protect her. If we hadn't been there
But
tonight...
we were.
Head down. It's all about that, keeping a leveler.
That's how I do it. And that's why I do it. And why I have to keep after it. Why we have to.
Oh. With the combination of Lucifer and Rory just expressing the musical talent. Can this be a first step, please? Please? I want this to be their first step on their, like, I guess, road to recovery. Come on, you can't end sour after that, right? See, she's smiling. So yeah, that was pretty, I don't know, I would say sad in some instances, although with this, I guess, being a parallel to episode 8, I think it was, of season 4, that was a lot more heartbreaking, given the circumstances with Caleb. So, and this was kind of like a sequel to that episode for Amenadiel's sake, because you had Michaela, I think her name was. She was being, we saw, lined up for being shot in the final confrontation, and then you had Amenadiel just remember the events of what happened to Caleb, and yeah, it was not going to happen again. So yeah, not just the fact that another innocent person would die, and there would be that thing that would haunt him, like Caleb's death kind of haunted Amenadiel, but also you have this you also have this threat of corrupt policemen and women point a gun at someone else, and potentially someone innocent, someone of the Black community, and potentially kill someone that didn't even do anything wrong. But that snobby detective was so convinced. So yeah, and even with the actual killer with the gun next to him, that was completely disregarded, and that's because Michaela was Black. And that's sadly the case because of the fact that there are, and there still are to this day, despite what happened to George Floyd, for example, and how controversial and how that blew up on the internet, it still happens today. There are corrupt policemen. There are those on the force who will sadly judge someone based on the color of their skin and will point guns first at someone of a person of color. Even if there is the actual killer, like in this episode, with a gun next to him, they will do that. And it is really, I really thought that this episode was sad, especially with Harris explaining her situation in terms of, I have to keep my head down, and the fact that that is a way forward, especially on protecting those in the Black community, because if I don't, then Michaela could have died, really. So like people within the Black community would die, so she does her best to protect everyone else in the Black community and everyone else that any corrupt people will willingly shoot. So it is a really sad circumstance, really, because yeah. And what's revolting as well is the fact that that detective knew he was racist. He knew that what he did was wrong and still embraced it. So, I hope when this season does end, I kind of hope that we get to see what's happened with people, and he's just on the first train ticket to hell, because he is despicable. And yeah, but it's really, really sad because you had Michaela being so scared, and there's this understanding why she's scared, because even though she didn't do it, the bullseye's on her back anyways. If it's not from the killer, because the killer knew that she escaped and whatnot, it's going to be by the corrupt police people, because she was scared to reach out to someone, because people will just look at her as the killer, like that detective did. That detective, based on the fact that she used to be part of a gang 10 years ago, thought, okay, well, that must mean she's the killer. But like I said, he knew he was racist, and he was just buttering Amenadel up. He knew what he did was wrong, and still point the blame for Michaela based on her past. And of course, there is the irony about the fact that he says he's moved on. He realizes what he did was wrong. And yeah, it's all about that fact about, does that mean that, well, obviously he shouldn't be in the position of power he's in based on, what he's done. But take a look at some self-assessment, you despicable piece of shit. And, if your past is any indication of the person of the person they are today, then you should be just cleaning up the gutters and whatnot, because people who are racist, they do not deserve that power. And obviously that was a point that was very, very much frowned upon, because he got promoted. I believe, from the last time we saw him, he got promoted despite complaints being made against him. And, that's sadly the reality of the situation, is that, you have people who are racist on the force who will get into a luxurious position that what they've done will be just swept under the rug. And it's really, really despicable. And like I said, obviously this kind of stuff is still happening, despite what happened to George Floyd. And obviously that name brings up such significance because that blew up so much in terms of how people were just absolutely appalled, especially with the fact that you obviously saw the footage and you saw what happened to him, sadly. But it blew up, it made waves, and it's very, very significant to know that this kind of this brutality still happens. And obviously, like with this being, I guess, a sequel to episode 8 of season 4, despite what that prick had to say about, oh, I've changed, he didn't. It still happens. His despicable behavior, despite what the complaints being put in, it still happens. And you just understand why Amenadiel is so livid that he is just, because like you can understand why his partner was why Harris was trying to keep things a bit on the hush hush, because obviously where she's at today, it's she has to keep her head down, so because otherwise she's just gonna get so and it's really, really sad just overall. So but it was just like, I really thought that the last, I guess, scenes in general were quite heartbreaking, especially given what was happening for Amenadiel's story. Like, this was pretty much focused on him and his first day, but also realizing that this corruption is still a thing, and how he's just understandably done. But also, like I said, you have Harris, who's basically saying that, speaking out about this, it's it's not gonna get you anywhere, and you just got to keep your head down in order to be able to reach out to those who might be vulnerable from white police, white racist police people, and you just got to keep your head down and protect them, because they're not going to be protected by those who are corrupted. Like I said, Michaela could have died, if anything, if she's not there. Because I thought especially when she, when there was talk about her turning down that detective job, it was more so about racism, because she's a black officer. So, and obviously we know that with episode 8 of season 4, there are quite a few corrupt officers, so she could just be like looked down upon based on the color of her skin. But there is that nobility that she's reaching out to the community, because who else is going to protect them? Like, Michaela could have died, and she's trying to do so much good in the position that she is in, I feel. So but I also really love the fact that Amenadiel was ready to just basically show his celestial side against that detective when he pointed the gun at Michaela, because he wasn't going to let anything happen to her. And he was willing to just reveal everything. He was willing to do something kind of like what happened in Detective Amenadiel, when there was that guy who killed based on, faith and whatnot. And he was like, oh, faith, it shouldn't exist. And yet it drove her insane. You had Amenadiel basically risk everything. And, well, I would say put the fear of God in him. And it was more like, now do you believe and whatnot? He was willing. The R's and W's always my Achilles heel, but he was willing to protect Michaela and show what he truly is, in order to make sure that racist assholes like him doesn't become successful, even though the gun with the actual killer was there. Like I said, their first sight was Michaela, and that's a sad truth to say. Like, it's obviously not all officers who are white are going to be racist, of course, but like I said, I think the main message is this still happens. There are still people of power who will point guns at a person of color, no hesitation, and it's a really, really heartbreaking situation. I mean, racism in general, yes, but obviously the main thing of a police is you protect everyone, you protect the innocents, and sadly there are some people who will point a gun at the innocent if they're a person of color. So and thankfully what Amenadel did was not just a great effort in showing how he's willing to sacrifice his true nature in order to protect Michaela, but also how he was able to find the evidence to clear her and give her that comfort, because of course she was frightened, she was a scared animal, really, and there was that lack of trust, really, wasn't there, because of the fact that she couldn't turn to the police because they would, because you know the detective instantly, based on her past as well, put the blame on her. So yeah, when he didn't have the answers altogether, and of course it was that hitman, really. So yeah, and you know, you just got to think, what if he did kill Michaela? Because obviously, I'm not talking about the detective, I'm talking about the actual killer. I'm just really worried if he actually got Michaela, would they, like, what would happen in terms of punishment, because of the fact that, well, the detective had eyes on Michaela being the killer. She dies, he escapes, and problem solved. That's what I fear, because of that corruption that's within that piece of shit. So, but thankfully Amenadel did a very, very good gesture and was able to clear Michaela. They got the actual killer, and yeah, so but it is a very, very powerful episode, because like I said, this is a thing that still happens, and obviously this thing still does happen, and it's great that this show addresses it in such a very, very powerful manner. But not just that, though, but it's a continuation, because it does play in parallel to how this thing sadly still does happen. So, and you have another black officer in Harris address Amenadel's understandable concerns, but also address why she is where she is and whatnot, and why she did turn down that detective job, because of how she's trying to reach out to the community and whatnot. And you understand why Amenadel is so pissed, because it does really break your heart. So, yeah, so... yeah, it was one thing I do not agree with is what Chloe said in regards to Amenadel, because there is, like, surely she should be aware of this kind of corruption and whatnot, especially with the fact that she's worked there for the past 5 seasons. So yeah, but that's the only thing that kind of irked me, because I don't want to say that she of course shrugged it off, but to say like they do the right thing mostly, you know, there is especially with Amenadel approaching you, that there has to be that understandability in terms of why he's concerned. So yeah, but yeah, what I do wish as well that would happen is they actually did fire him, but I think obviously it plays into the realism that sadly you don't get that situation where the racist gets punished for what they exhibited. So yeah, but yeah, I thought the whole differences in terms of why Harris, you know, this is why we do this, because we have to protect people like Michaela, and how Amenadel was understandably angry was brilliant in my opinion. So yeah, because she knows the system, she's been on this for quite some time, and she doesn't want to make things even worse. And sadly, that's a testament to just the shittiness of the system, of how people of corruption can have such an influence and whatnot, and she has to keep her head down. And you could understand why Amenadel, like, he, especially with him becoming so attached to humanity as we've known, there is just that disgust about, you know, why are people like that detective? I've forgotten his name, but we'll call him Detective Pig Shit because that's what he is. Why is Detective Pig Shit like getting a free pass? It's understandable, given who he is, given how he's new as well, why he's clearly pissed. But it's also great that his partner is someone who understands the system and has to, you know, voice the harsh situation of why she does the way the things she does in terms of you know, turning down that role. And yeah, so yeah, but yeah, we had that, and yeah, we also had the whole Rory and Lucifer situation, and like I said, I thought that ending shot, especially with the scenes of what was going on with the Menedel's story, I thought the moment where Lucifer and Rory had that moment where they could sing and build their first steps in terms of finding that, you know, great connection, especially with Lucifer just empathizing with something that seems to be not just something that she's picked up from her dad, but something of comfort, because she was just there in the penthouse, and then Lucifer came in, and then Lucifer just, you know, joined her, and yeah, and it was really, really beautiful with the vocals. So I just really loved that. But also, this is Rory acknowledging what Maze said. She has a lot of respect for Maze, and Maze sees Lucifer's pain, and she's acknowledging the fact that he is trying. And yeah, I just hope they do address this, especially between Lucifer and Chloe, because obviously a few times right now we have known the fact that that Rory was brought up with Trixie and Chloe, but yeah, I do hope that there's some kind of there is some kind of discussion and whatnot, because it's not far as well, isn't it? A few weeks away. So yeah, and I want them to have some serious kind of emphasis on this, because spoilers for The Flash season 5. There was this kind of heavy emphasis when Barry went missing and Nora was raised without Barry. And obviously this is a bit more of a poignant subject, I guess, because the crisis on Infinite Earths was something that Barry was that we were teased about since season 1, and Barry got to learn about it, and yeah, so and it's been something that's been plaguing him. And then obviously the dates got shorter, and he would realize, I'm gonna disappear soon. And there was obviously a huge emphasis between Barry and Iris in regards to his disappearance and how Nora didn't grew up without him. So yeah, Barry and Iris were able to, as far as I could remember, because the Flash is like is vanishing from my crisis at the minute, if you get my drift. Like season 7. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, there was some kind of topic between them regarding Nora and him disappearing, and I'm hoping something similar happens, because it's not really that dissimilar. You have a child from the future who grew up without her father, and the vanishing is near, like it is with Lucifer. So yeah, so I do hope that there is some kind of discussion going on there, but it was really, you know, interesting to see Lucifer just try, and then you had Rory have that no shit attitude whatsoever, especially in the car scene. And I just really love that moment she was hitting up on that older woman, and then Lucifer was like, that's my daughter. No. So yeah, but no, it was just really, really great to have something a bit more, I guess, benevolent between the pair, especially towards the end. So I do suspect something's going to be a spanner in the works next episode, but it seems like we are making a bit of progress. But we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. But I really, really loved more showcasing of Tom Ellis singing. And not just that though, but that duet, I think that was the elephant in the room in that story, because it was so freaking beautiful. That paralleling to the painful situation that Amenadel was going through and whatnot. So yeah, but I just really, really loved that moment, and how Maze was trying to be supportive of Lucifer, especially given the fact that she is sensing her pain, which is really, really nice, especially with the whole soul situation that she has now. But obviously she knows from experience about abandonment, and she can sense Lucifer's pain, and she's just trying to give Maze that, Rory that encouragement, to, you know, he is hurting and he is trying his best. So yeah, but yeah, it was just really, really incredible, like, going into that story. Dan was pretty fun as well, like, especially the fact that like, surely he knows that Amenadel would see, well, he does, he even pointed it out about how crazy Amenadel would sound. But I do love Dan's contribution. I'm expecting a bit more of a serious thing going on for him in the next couple of episodes, but I really loved his involvement as well. But yeah, a very, very powerful episode, of course, like I said, I feel like a bit of a sequel to what happened in season 4, episode 8. And I think just also a testament to how grim the reality is about, you know, this kind of thing can still happen, especially during a big event like what happened with George Floyd, and with what happened to Caleb, which is pretty influential for Amenadel. This thing still happens, sadly, and like I said, you have a great dynamic in terms of Amenadel and someone like Harris, who has been on this for quite some time, and she knows why and there is a reasoning to why she's in this position, because someone's got to protect people like Michaela from evil pieces of shit. So yeah, but yeah, very powerful stuff. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!